Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart. I might cop a farm and go add up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cars, so you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm sorry. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. Welcome to the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. We are here for 45 minutes of non-stop football stories. We're going to jump around and we'll talk as many football stories as possible in that time. And it's been a good week for Bluebirds fans. Kings of South Wales, once again, order is restored. But as always, big shout out to the Sports Social, as ever, for hosting our audio side of our shows. And of course, we're raising money for many charities each year, and the Super Six Prediction League. We also have a fantasy Premier League, but Rodders has been a bit slow to join that. But ex-Cardiff City defender tops the fantasy league on 316 points, size in 209th. Rhodri hasn't entered. Sorry, I'm in 44th. With 209, should I say? But the Super Six.
I've actually got 200. Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, shit. 1 minute.
Right, while you look up your fantasy league, you're not in the league, though, mate.
While you look at the fantasy league, we can talk about Super Six midweek.
Super Six. Yeah, return of the Champions League games. So we had 2 rounds this week. Kevin Roper topped the weekend. He had 16 points on the weekend. And Lyndon Irison topped the midweek round with a whopping 21 points. Sai, 49 points overall, 8 in midweek. Rodders with a very respectable 15 during midweek. Takes a little lead of 7 points in the overall battle. The next round is 3 p.m. Saturday. And please do get involved. If you need the fantasy football link and code and all that.
Got the message, didn't you? This is me last night looking down the table, see where Sai was. Where's Sai? Yeah, I couldn't see you.
Two seasons, I've beaten you into oblivion. And then you guys 6 points ahead.
That's history.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
It's the 529, that 529 channel. That's this history channel, pal.
Yeah, you are like Jesus. But 6 points.
Come on.
6 points, and he's getting giddy. You got to talk about the Super Six, mate, because you don't want to talk about Man United, do you? Let's be honest.
I'm happy to talk about Man United.
No, we'll have a good old rant about them in a minute, mate. But first and foremost, I want to say, guys, if you can, please do sign up to patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Helps us out a massive amount. For a little, like, price of a cup of coffee, you can get yourself all sorts of rewards. Helps keep the channel going. Allows us to go and do some work and see media, stuff like that. So if you can do it, then please do. Lots of exclusive content on there as well, as always. Lots of good stuff coming this week on the channel as well. Unfortunately, after a really promising first episode of Rise of the Panthers, we've had a bit of a problem, which I cannot discuss for legal reasons. So that's on pause at the moment, that series, which is a bit of a blow, but it is what it is. As the kids say, mate, say less. We are here to talk football, though, and I am joined by the legend himself, ex-Salford City winger, ex-FC United, Bangor City, Aberystwyth Town. He's been around, but he's here again tonight. How are you, my friend? You good? Mr. Rhodri Giggs, by the way, for anyone who didn't know.
Yeah, good, mate. Busy day today. So, like I said before we come on, I only just got in about 20 minutes ago. So, from 7 o'clock this morning. Well, 7:15, half 7. But, yeah, busy day, mate. So, it's not even eating. I'm going to eat after this, but all good. Especially
So
after
good.
last night as well. So, is this if I join this? If I join this fantasy league now, I have the same points as I've got
I think
now?
I think it basically just goes from whatever you are, as long as you're already a member of the, what is it?
Well,
I
I told you what I did, didn't I? And the first,
Yeah.
I've been swapping my teams, multiple players, and I've only realised you can only do one transfer a week. So I've lost about 80 points. I'm on 202 at the minute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you are. You're only 7 points behind me, so I'm 7 points ahead of you on the fantasy league, and you're 7 points ahead of me on the Super Six. But yeah, as long as you've got a fantasy Premier League team, you just jump in the league. But I've sent you the link, mate, anyway, so you can just jump in.
Yeah, I've got it.
So what I'm going to do tonight, mate, because I'm feeling a bit fruity, I'm going to change it up, mate. Normally we start with Man United. We get the negativity out of the way, and then we move on to other subjects. Do you know what we're going to talk about tonight, mate? See if you can guess. What's the first subject we're going to discuss?
Mate.
What's the first subject you think I want to discuss? It's very fitting that you got a nice royal blue T-shirt and hat on, though, got to say.
Oh, you want to spoke about Cardiff? Go on, then.
Come on, then, mate. Right. Number one.
What score did you predict? What score did I predict? Let's tell the viewers.
I predicted 2-0.
No,
Cardiff.
No, it's on tape. You liar.
I can't even remember what I said, mate. I think I said 2-1 Cardiff. Or 3-1, maybe. I can't remember. What did you say?
3-1. 3-1. You got kidding, didn't you? I went for a 2-0 home win.
Well, do you know what I did, mate? Is I overestimated that I thought Swansea would turn up for a South Wales derby. They were absolutely as bad as they've been all season. They didn't turn up. Their captain was the worst player on the pitch. Their manager looks like he's an amateur manager at the moment. I don't know what they're doing, but if they don't sort it out very quick, they're going to be in a relegation battle. But I've got to give them...
The old Cardiff Headloo would have been buzzing with the result. No trouble in Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a quiet night, mate, wasn't it? Quiet night in the city centre on Saturday.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
Yeah. Look, massive shout out to the manager, mate. I think sometimes, there's a lot is made of the new manager boost you get, and sometimes you get you got to give the manager time. But ultimately, I think you got to commend the manager. He's come in and he's got them tactically spot on. He changes his tactics depending on the opponent and the game situation, and I think he's built a decent squad. I still think they're 2 players short of pushing on next year and really, really challenging, like right at the top. I think they need a proper number 9 who's going to bang in 15, 20 goals, and I think they could still do with probably another defender. But for this season, I think this squad as it is now, with players to come back who are first team players, I think we can certainly be in the mix for the playoffs. Not saying we'll get there, but I think we can be in the conversation. I've been really impressed with how the managers got them playing. I got to say, mate, it's the most enjoyable season so far, like in terms of just watching the games, that I've had watching Cardiff play football for a very long time, because I was watching the Swansea game specifically, and like Cardiff are knocking it about. They're calm on the ball, passing and moving, and Swansea are like launching it long, putting the ball out of play and heavy touches. And it was very weird because for many years, Swansea were the ball playing team. Cardiff were kind of like the more direct blood and thunder. And then obviously in recent times, it's been without the blood and thunder, just long ball shite. So to see Cardiff play the way that he did, I was very happy as a City fan. And I thought they were excellent against Coventry without Aaron Ramsey as well. To be able to rest him, change the formation slightly, and then go and what should have been really 3-1, 3-0. It ended up 3-2, but 6 points in 4 days. Take that all day long in that league. But I know you don't watch Cardiff as avidly as me. What did you make of the South Wales derby as not a neutral, but someone who's not a diehard?
I only caught the second half. No, yeah, very good. Didn't think much of Swansea, but yeah, Cardiff played well. Good atmosphere. Yeah, it was a good win.
You've got to take those wins, mate. In that league.
And you've got to stop the rot. 5 games.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Undertaking, you get the piss taken out of you. So, especially for the Swans, so to stop that as well, which is good. Keep them quiet for a bit, won't you?
Yeah, I would like to think so, mate. But that league, the Championship is weird, isn't it? Like you string 3 or 4 wins together in a row, and you shoot up the league.
Look at Middlesbrough. They were flying last year. 3 months later, they haven't even won a game, 2 points.
Well, you look at it, right? Swansea have been very consistently, not amazing in the Championship the last couple of years, but they've been decent. And then you've got Sheffield Wednesday, got promoted last year, so they had momentum. Yeah. And then you had Middlesbrough, who
changed the manager. They'll lose that momentum.
Yeah, and look, mate, the way the fans treated Darren Moore, they don't get much sympathy from me for where they are now. But
Huddersfield job, hasn't it?
He got the what job? Huddersfield?
Huddersfield Town.
Great appointment, that is, mate. Great appointment.
Neil Warnock. And here's a fact for you.
Go on.
Neil Warnock was Darren Moore's manager.
Is that right? That's cool, though. I like that.
I like Torquay, when I got to Torquay, funny enough, when I got to Torquay in 1993,
yeah,
he was leaving to manage Huddersfield, and Darren Moore was the first team centre half.
That's Jesus. And shows how long Darren Warnock's been doing it.
The apprenticeship at YTS through Torquay, so he would have had Neil Warnock for quite a few years as well. So I'm pretty sure Neil Warnock would have championed the Darren Moore. I may even sorted it out. Who knows? Because they definitely
shows you how long Warnock's been doing it, doesn't it? Warnock's been doing this for
1993.
Years, and Jesus.
They came up mid-season for a friendly game, which I played in. First team game, I was only 16. Yeah, and he was manager of Huddersfield, but he'd left because when I come on before the season on a trial, Neil Warnock was manager, but when the season started, he'd left for Huddersfield, and Don O'Riordan took over. Yeah, but Darren Moore was the first team centre half who come through the
right. Okay, so Huddersfield hadn't started very well, but they've actually unbeaten in 3 games, won 2 out of 3, drew the other one. But they told Neil Warnock he was no longer required, and they found a replacement. And look, I think it's a good decision because I think, as much as I love Neil Warnock, he plays a certain way, and I'm not sure in 2023 that is the most effective way of playing football in the Championship. The clubs that do well in the Championship now are the clubs which play good football. Like you look at the teams at the top: Leicester, Preston, Ipswich, Sunderland, Norwich, Hull. That's the top 6. They're all footballing teams. Long gone are the days of that direct, but Bolton Wanderers-esque kind of football. I just don't think it works now. Teams can play around it.
Hello, Luton Town. Hello.
But they play football, mate. They play for maybe not now, but no. Last year they played football. They're not a long ball team. I wouldn't, they're not building from the back and the rest of it, but they play football in the Championship. Premier League, I think it's different. I think they have gone a bit more direct, but in the Championship last year, Luton played some really good stuff. So I disagree with that. But the league is just mental.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, indeed. But Swansea,
so you got that Luton Town football inside. How are they doing now?
Well, yeah, I'm not. That's what I said. They've changed the way they do go about it. And also, they haven't got the squad.
They haven't got the squad. Like I said, which you disagree with, but whatever. Go on.
No, I said in the Championship, didn't I? My point was specifically about the Championship. Come on, mate, pay attention. So
my was about the Championship. They played direct in the Championship and trying to play football in the Premiership. So they should go back to being direct and they might get more points.
I disagree. I think Luton Town played some really good football in the Championship, whereas now I think they've gone more.
Yes, with Nathan, he hasn't been there for about a year and a bit.
True. Well, what is most satisfying?
Luton Town
Last year or this year?
Last year in the Championship we're talking about.
Last year I probably watched not like loads, but I would have watched quite a few games.
You'd think that Kenilworth Road would be a difficult place to go, but yeah, I don't see him getting many points. They haven't won one yet, have they?
No. I think they could go down. I think I said this to you in the summer. I've got a feeling the signings they made and everything. I think they might break the record for the lowest points. I don't want them to.
10 or 11?
I think it was Derby with about 11, or might have even been lower than that. I'll check that now.
Jim Smith.
But so what were you saying about the Championship? It's such a tough league. Middlesbrough literally only just missed out on automatics, and they haven't won a game. Same manager, similar squad, probably strengthened the squad, and they can't buy a win.
They lose the striker though.
Yeah, they lost the one striker, didn't they? But they did. They replaced him with. I think he go somewhere in Europe. Where was it? So lowest points totals in Premier League history.
Derby, 11.
Yeah, Derby. So Sunderland. The bottom three is Huddersfield with 16, Sunderland with 15, and then Derby with the amount is blanked out. It's so bad that it's blanked out on this webpage. Let me have a look. 11, yeah. So, yeah, I got a feeling Luton are going to be struggling, I got to say. But there's 3 teams in the Championship with no wins, and they're all in terrible form. But if you go up the other end of the Championship, you've got Preston, who've won 5 on the bounce. They are top of the league, and they are flying. Haven't lost, the only team which is unbeaten in the league. And maybe not the team which everyone picked to be up there, but there's a long way to go. There's only 7 games in.
Long way to go.
The top 4 are in tremendous form. Maybe there's a bit of heart speaking overhead, but I think Cardiff will be there or thereabouts for the playoffs, especially if they can get Kiefer Moore on loan in January. But that all depends.
Some surprising teams down there, though, isn't there?
Down the bottom?
Watford, West Brom, Huddersfield, Southampton.
Well, look at Stoke, mate. Stoke started like a house on fire first couple of games and just haven't been able. They've lost 3 of the last 4.
Preston haven't lost it. Preston started well, haven't they?
Yeah, Preston are on fire, mate. Won 5 on the bounce, haven't lost. Right. It's going to be interesting how it develops, really, because
far too much time on this Championship.
Yeah, go on. Let you all. Let me let you get it out, mate, because I know that I'm sure you've got a few things to say. Right. Let's talk about the Man United versus Brighton game first, specifically the Brighton game. Did the manager get it wrong, or did he come up with a plan and he just didn't have the players available to implement the plan? Because he played like a 4-2-2-2-2-2, didn't he? Like a diamond. And I could see the logic behind it. He was trying to overload the central areas to stop Brighton playing. And I think I texted you on the weekend. I don't actually think United playing.
The day you change your tactics to stop another team like Brighton come to Old Trafford, you're done. What? I know, because Brighton are a very, very good side. But for a team that costs 16.5 million to outclass a team that costs 400, 500 million, there's something wrong there. Now, yes, I'm starting to think these players are not shit. I was going to say shit, but not very good, or not at the standard of Manchester United, because it's not a one-off now. It's like it's getting to a point where what's going on?
How many managers?
Let's get in tight. Let's keep it nice and tight. And there's none of that. It's all over the place.
The way they defended.
The young kid who's come in because the people expecting too much from him. So they might ruin this kid if they don't sort it out, because he looks like a good player, but you know, he can't. He's 20 years of age. He's been here like 2 months. He's played like 2 games.
I want to stay on the Brighton game a minute, mate.
Rashford winds me up. How he walks about. Scott McTominay, what I saw last night.
Mate. Scott McTominay, I got to talk to you about him in a minute. But with Rashford, mate, very quickly.
He's an absolute joke. You know, who's bringing these players in? Where's Darren Fletcher? Where's this imposter? You know, 1 minute he's director of football, next minute he's on the bench, next minute he's playing rondos 7-a-side on a Friday, getting photos. Do you think if his son comes through the ranks, which he might possibly do you think he's going to allow the coaches to play in 7-a-7 against his son? No, he won't. So why is he doing it? Where's this kid? What is he even doing? He's just an imposter, absolute imposter from the top to the bottom, and it's a joke. Even Martinez looks a different player. Terrible.
So
you bring in Maguire on. I mean, not Maguire, Martial on. We've seen this. It's rinse and repeat. You fucking blow on him, and he'll get injured. He's just it just winds me up. And then you play this police street, and you got Garnacho on the bench. It's just
right.
Yeah.
Quick, I want to put something to you now in a minute, but before I do,
Rashford winding me up. The way he struts and walks about, and now we're seeing it from McTominay. You would never see a homegrown player do that 10 years ago. Never.
So, on Rashford, mate, I think he should have been dropped after the Brighton game. I understand because it was such a big game against Bayern, but the way he strutted about while his teammates were pressing, and they obviously had a plan to press, like there was a trigger and then they press and they go together, and he was the only one who wasn't going, and it caused them a problem because they kept playing through him.
They're not even a good footballing side. They're a bad team.
So here's a question for you, right? Do you pretty much know the United starting lineup from yesterday off the top of your head, more or less?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this side up against that 11, and you tell me which one you would prefer if you had the choice. Tom Heaton in goal.
Go
on. Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire. Yeah. Who was there? There was another centre-back. I'll come back to that. Then in midfield, you'd have
Varane.
Rafa Varane, sorry. Then in midfield, Kobe Mainoo, Amrabat, and the third, Mount. Then on the right, you'd have Anthony. On the left, through the middle, you'd have Greenwood. And on the left would be Sancho. Would you put that 11 up against the 11 which played yesterday? Because that is an 11 players, apart from Tom Heaton, who are unavailable to United at the moment for various reasons. And you could still have a substitute of Malacia.
I would take Harry Maguire out. Greenwood's a non-entity. That's not us. Not happening. So I would take Greenwood out. And Maguire out. I'll put I want to see Mason Mount on the right.
Yeah, I think that's where he could do a job.
Yeah, so I'd put him on the right. Sancho, I'd keep on the left. He needs a good run of games in. Get Rashford on the bench, and I would switch. What the midfield is?
Mount.
Mason Mount's out anyway, so he's on the right.
Mount, Mainoo, and Amrabat with the three in midfield.
Yeah, I would put just obviously Mason's gone out to the right and Bruno comes in.
Okay. So my question to you is,
and Maguire would come out.
Which other club in European football could deal with having 11 plus first team players out, 3 right wingers out? Which other club could deal with that and
left wingers
and maintain? well, Anthony, Sancho's obviously not available at the moment, and technically Greenwood, I suppose. But with Jadon Sancho, mate, he will never play for Man United again unless Ten Hag gets sacked. He was live on YouTube last night while United were playing Bayern. He was live on YouTube playing FIFA. That tells me everything that you want to know, because you've got who was it?
Mate, 1 minute. This is a guy who's on 350 grand a week.
Exactly.
Listen, I could be onto you now. I've got a screen there, I've got a screen there, and I've got a TV there. Why can he not be playing FIFA and watching the game?
Does he need to live stream it at the exact time the game's on? When he's out of the squad for publicly calling his manager a liar. He's not out because he's injured. He's out because of his own actions.
Things like that, just things like that don't bother me. It's just petty.
Petty. So, but I compare it to
getting involved with a kid with mind games and just like, it's just petty. All I want to know is he doing the right stuff at training? Is he doing? I don't care if he's sat at home playing a game while the football's on.
But my point is the difference in so on the weekend, on Saturday, I think it was, he was out on the piss in New York, not this Saturday, like the Saturday over the international break. He was on the piss in New York, and Pellistri was pictured on holiday training while he was on holiday. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying
how do you know he wasn't training?
Well, this is what I was going to say. However, if I'm Sancho's team, agent, mates, whatever it is, I would be saying, mate, you've got a visual, a PR problem at the moment. Everyone thinks you've down tools. Everyone thinks you're lazy. Everyone thinks you've this, that, and the other. So is it the best thing to be pictured going out on a piss? I'm just saying.
How about mate? You've had a little tough couple of weeks. Why he's give you 4 days off. Why don't you go away? Just go and have a nice time. Just go enjoy yourself.
Or apologise to the manager and get back in the fucking squad. The only reason he's not in the squad is because he refuses to apologise for publicly slating the manager.
Apologise for what? He obviously feels like he's right. So this is a £75 million asset. It's petty. Just get it sorted out. Just get it sorted out, boom. This is what it's just petty. He's brought this on himself. Why the fuck would you bring it up in a press conference that he's not trained? Just bring something up. Just lie. Ferguson did it week in, week out. Just lie.
But do you not think he's tried?
No, I don't get.
But he's tried it. He's tried putting his arm around him. He's tried like being his mate and giving him time away and that. Maybe he's had enough of him not pulling his weight, and he wants to try and. Well, yeah, I agree. It hasn't worked. No, I do agree.
And people are talking about it still. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let him drag out and just let him train on his own?
Well, I think they'll sell him in January. But to me, I think it's so petty between the like when they had a meeting, whenever they did over the international break. Ten Hag should have just gone, listen, this is stupid. We need to put a club first. We need to put a team first. We need you on the fucking football pitch. So just draw a line under it. Fucking get on the training pitch. Do your job and let's go. And Sancho should have said, yeah, shouldn't have done it publicly. Let's just move on and get on with it. That's what two adults would do, isn't it?
To me, it's just petty. It's like a school teacher speaking to a pupil. It's just petty. Just get it dealt with. Just get it dealt with one way or the other. It's dragging out.
Yeah. I didn't like the character assassination of Sancho, which came out last week. Like every day there was someone from Dortmund, from City, from United, just blah blah blah, all like anonymous sources saying how he's lazy, he's rude, he's this. There's no need for that. Like there was whoever was dropping those stories to the press, there was no need to go after him in that way.
Modern day player,
pathetic, mate.
Modern day player, the pampered fucking babies.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but you know, some of them who are on a lot of money, just You just need a good slap.
Yeah. Here's a question for you then. Let's move back to the football. United played Bayern
No,
Munich.
not need a good slap. You need a good 2-footing. Boom, right. Have a little forehand smash the chin. Come on.
Get on with it.
Just sort it out. A good team would sort it out in-house. What are you doing? What are you doing? They would sort it out. This is why I know this team's bad, because they can't even sort it out between themselves. Not even one player has gone, come on, let's get a grip of this. What they're doing? Or a group of them say, come on, let's get this sorted. None of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah,
it's all fragmented, and it's just, it's kicking off in the changing rooms. 2 over there, 2 over here. Get about it. And we haven't got started on the owners yet.
No.
So,
but with the,
they spent over £1 billion on shit, on absolute shit. Ralph Rangnick said you need to buy Haaland, you need to buy Alvarez, you need to buy Declan Rice. This was like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And no, instead they get fucking who do they get?
Well, they went after proven or players who were coming to the end of their career, didn't they? Instead of going for those players, all of those players on that list, they're all £100 million plus players now.
But instead of being like, I've been so used to going to watch United thinking, we've got a chance, more or less, we're probably going to win this. To like thinking, no chance of winning this. Right? No chance.
So
Bayern Munich away, no chance. Burnley away. Be a good game, this. It'd be a good game. I don't know. I'll keep your fingers crossed. That's where we're at the minute.
So I watched, right. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So, the arguments in the changing room, right? That happens all the time in changing rooms of all sports. Happens all the time. But it becomes more.
No. Not one happening there and one happening there.
Yeah.
That's fragmented. There's groups that's going on. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That sounds like blaming each other, doesn't it?
But if there's groups of them kicking off, that's an issue. I've never seen that. I've seen
and that's what I was going to say.
Last year, go off in the change room where it happened to be 2 twins, a cousin and another cousin, all in the same family, and they're all going for this one kid. It was like crazy and proper going off, and so the coach picked one of them and threw him across the changing room. It was funny. But I've never seen like 2 groups going at it at the same time. Yeah. It's like, what's going on here?
So, moving on to the pitch, right? People debate about Scott McTominay. Is he good enough? Is he this? Is he that? I said when he was linked with West Ham that I thought he would go to West Ham and he would be very, very good for them. I think he's a good footballer. I don't think he's up to the standard for United. However, what I've seen him do in the last 2 games, like his asset to United, particularly if he plays with Casemiro, they want him for his legs, his work rate, his off the ball, like marking players, following the runners, all the dirty work. And in the Bayern Munich game, he let someone just run past him and he's just jogging, watching the guy go into the box to score. And in the Brighton game, he just watching runners come off him, didn't even try and get near him or missed the tackle and then just jogging after him. Like, if he can't do the basic work rate thing, which he's there for, he's there to be the legs, then he needs to be fucked off really quick, because that's his only job at the moment, is to be the legs.
Well,
Hannibal embarrassed him.
That was all around social media, that little clip where he said he'd come on at 69th minute, and this is the 79th minute, and he loses the ball and jogs back and doesn't attempt to sprint back. Fans will see that and they'll get on him. And if fans turn against a homegrown player, then you know. Because that's the start of it now. Because you see that, you better see him next time he plays running his fucking guts off and getting stuff in. So if he makes any more mistakes or any fans and they get on his back, there's no coming back, especially for a homegrown player if they do it, because it's just not enough. Fred's gone. Now get the other one out. McFred. Both of them. Get them out. Out!
Just cannot excuse lack of effort, mate, I think. And there's too many in there who are not pulling their weight.
They're homegrown players. Him and Marcus Rashford are homegrown players. Walking about, strutting about. Like Rashford that way. Towing a race and a horse cart that way.
Rashford's a fucking United fan as well.
He's a joke. It's embarrassing.
I can't
It
imagine,
doesn't really-
right, being on the pitch for Cardiff as a player and as someone who's born and bred Cardiff, like die-hard Cardiff City fan, I can't imagine like just jogging about. Like the very least, I'm giving 110%
That's another thing with the
all
team.
times.
If I was on his team, I'd seen that. I'd be in his ear, mate. And if he didn't listen to me, then I'd be into him. Boom, straight into training. Bang, have that. You're not playing then. If you don't want to run, then I'll do you, mate. Because you're not. You're just cheating. You're cheating.
You're cheating. Yeah, 100%. That's the best word for it.
I would have been in his ear. He would have not liked me.
So the other thing I was going to say to you, right, is particularly with McTominay, but all of them, Hannibal comes on against Brighton and does more in 15 minutes than any other player on the pitch, probably except Højlund and Reguilon. They were the only two who come out with any credit against Brighton for me. And like Bruno tries, or he runs about and he puts effort in. But Hannibal comes on, he's flying into tackles, he's using the football, he scores a good goal. But it's the energy, mate, and the aggression and the work rate.
That would have been nominated 4 years ago. What's happened?
Do you think he's got comfortable with just getting a wage and sitting on a bench?
What's happened? Why is he losing the ball and then jogging back? What is your explanation for that?
There's no excuse for it, is there? There's nothing.
No,
unless he's injured.
Exactly. He wasn't injured because he played the rest of the game. He only just been on 10 minutes. He got a new haircut though. So he looked good on the telly.
What would you have started Hannibal yesterday against Bayern?
No.
So in my head, I was like, you can't start him away at Bayern. He's young, etc. No. But he's also an international footballer. But my thinking was
he's giddy as well. So early yellow card. No. You got to look after these players too. Still, so you could be thrown under the bus there.
Do you think Ten Hag?
I don't think he can play at that level, but no.
Yeah, not for that particular game. Do you think Ten Hag's got to take some responsibility because he keeps playing Bruno at 10 and Eriksen? Eriksen is the deep midfielder. Eriksen hasn't got the legs to do it. So they got to swap. Got to swap Bruno and Eriksen, haven't you? Surely they worked last year when they did it. Bruno next to Casemiro because he's got the legs.
I just don't like when I see them three in there. There's not enough legs in there.
Well, I think Amrabat and Mount should come in, and I think Amrabat will make a colossal difference to the United midfield. I think people don't realise how good he is, not just defensively.
Once you get them all fit, when you're all fit, you've got Luke Shaw, Varane, Martinez,
Amrabat.
I'd have Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Amrabat, Casemiro, Bruno,
Mount on the right.
The big Dane up front.
And then it's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Up for grabs.
Right now, I'd put Garnacho there. Right now, if you're asking me right now, say Garnacho, there you go, boom. That would be my starting 11. Then you've got bench, Maguire, Pellistri, Anthony, Sancho,
Martial,
Rashford, yeah.
Eriksen, Hannibal.
Yeah.
I would start Hannibal. If Amrabat is not fit on Saturday night against Burnley, is that home or away, the Burnley game?
Away, 8 o'clock kickoff, Saturday night.
Right. Okay. If it was at home against Burnley, I would have started Hannibal. I don't know if I'd start him away. Maybe, though. I think he's good. I think he's also played international football, mate. He's not
far. It's only about 15 miles away. It's not far.
Yeah, I think I'd play him, mate. I think he gives them something that none of the others do outside of the ones who are injured. But the way United defended last night, mate, and I think Martinez has struggled to come back from his injury, whether he's feeling the pressure because Varane's out. He hasn't got the same composure that he had before his injury. And, maybe he's rushed back and it takes a bit of time. But Lindelof doesn't look as solid as he did last year. And I think it comes with negative results. The keeper, Onana, I saw an Italian journalist saying last night that Onana made one mistake all season last year. and he's made that mistake at United, and there's been a couple of goals maybe he could have done better with. I don't think he's been as bad as people are making out, but he should have saved that last night. It's just a very negative atmosphere, but I do think you have to, it's not an excuse to point out the injury list. The injury list is unbelievable that United have, and if you put all those players back in the squad, I guarantee you that you see a different United side. And if they sack Erik ten Hag midway through while he's trying to get rid of all these shit players and bring in his own players, if they sack him to try and change the narrative around the owners and the negativity around the club, then that will be one of the biggest mistakes I've seen in football in a long time. Because I believe that Ten Hag is the right man for the job, but he isn't being given the tools to do the job. He didn't get the players he wanted in last January. He ended up with shitty loans. And then they're expecting him to, like, they do it every time. No, they did it with Mourinho. They did it with Van Gaal. They did it with Solskjaer. They have a successful season, and then they follow it up with a shit window. I think this window was somewhere in the middle. I don't think it was dreadful, but I thought it wasn't as good as it could have been. It's just they never are able to get any continuity, and it does come back to the owners. But I think anyone who's writing the obituary of United is getting a bit carried away and a bit into the hyperbole. Very quickly then, mate, before we finish, are you looking forward to seeing Amrabat come into that United side?
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Do you think he can make that much of a difference if he's the only player back?
Yes. Him and Mason Mount can make a big difference, yeah.
He's got to play Mount off the right, mate, haven't he? Surely.
Yeah. We might do now, and then you might see him flourish, but I've not seen nothing from him yet.
Well, you could even play Mount at 10 and play Bruno on the right, I suppose.
You've got to play Bruno in the correct position. That's his position. That's where he's best at. That's where he scores the goals. Messing him about. Just messing the team about. Square pegs.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. The only way I would move Bruno around from now on is if they've got the current players who are available, I'm playing him alongside Casemiro, and I'm playing Eriksen in 10 because Eriksen does not have the legs to do the job in the pivot. He just hasn't got it. So you cannot play him there. I'd rather see bloody Martinez play there, or fucking, don't know, Wan-Bissaka. I'd rather see any of the other players there than Eriksen. But ultimately, mate, when they get their players back, that's how you got to judge them. If they sack Ten Hag, it'll be outrageous. But if they lose to Burnley, mate, I think he's under real pressure because the owners can distract from the negativity around them by sacking a manager and kind of
more money, mate. More money from them, which they haven't got. They have to pay him out, and they've got to pay another manager. We're talking Manchester United, and they haven't got money.
Yeah, but they have done it. They've got form for doing it.
Mate. They've been there a year. They're not.
I agree. I think, but they've got form for doing it before Christmas. If the bad results continue,
they're not sacking him. They won't sack him.
Right. Reese wants to know. He made a couple of points. He said about McTominay. He said it reminds me of Granit Xhaka. For his country, it turns into a world beater, but at club level, he just struggles. Might be a confidence thing, or maybe they're just the big star player for the country, but not for the club.
Confidence thing not running. Confidence thing.
Well, yeah, that's it. There's no excuse for it, is there? Like, you cannot excuse lack of effort, ever. Reese did ask, "What's your thoughts on the Everton takeover?"
Your job.
Yeah, do your fucking job.
What about fucking jogging?
Yeah, take out the fact that someone like Rashford's a United fan. Just do you get paid. How much Rashford's new contract? 300 something grand. Just run. It's outrageous, mate. Reese wants to know, what's your thoughts on the Everton takeover? All those allegations about the new owners with fraud and stuff like money laundering and all that stuff. Now the story's doing around. They're buying on the cheap to sell the club as soon as the new stadium's finished for quick, easy money. But surely, I'll put this to you now, but surely if that's what the case is, I'm not massively familiar with it. I just know that they're supposed to be really dodgy, or there's rumors of them being dodgy. surely that's what this fit and proper test is from the Premier League, isn't it? To stop.
Go through rigorous tests and stuff.
But is it if it doesn't work?
What?
Like, do those tests mean anything if that was to be able to happen?
No.
Absolutely worthless, man. But yeah.
Yeah.
On that, by the way, Brighton are currently 2-1 down in the Europa League to Athens. So, like, Brighton are excellent, but they're not unbeatable. You've just got to defend properly.
Let me stop you there. Playing Champions League football, doesn't matter who it's against, it's different. And if you're not used to it, it's different from the Premier League. I can't describe it. I remember when United started playing in like
it took Fergie years, mate, didn't it?
Struggled at first, really struggled. And then they started getting better, and eventually better than 99. They won it, but the first few years, it's difficult. That's why when you win away from home in the Champions League, it's massive. It's so difficult. But win, you expect still Brighton to get a result there. It's still not over yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I think, look, with Brighton, mate, they're not unbeatable. You've just got to be tactically aware, which I think the Ten Hag is capable of. I thought his plan to combat Brighton was a good plan, actually, to kind of overload the central areas, but he didn't have the players didn't do it properly. They did it properly for 20 minutes and it looked good. And then they just fucking shit for the rest of it. They didn't try. And then you look at the Bayern game yesterday. United started pretty well, mate. First 20 minutes, I thought United were pretty good away from home in Europe against Bayern. Then Onana makes the mistake. All right, it's a mistake. It happens, whatever. But after that, mate, the lack of effort and just defensive awareness from a majority of those footballers was absolutely crazy to me. That you're playing on TV in the biggest competition in the world and you can't bust a gut to mark a player or get in position properly or just be tactically aware to look over your shoulder and see the player free. Like, that is basics. That's what we coach 6-year-olds, mate, isn't it? Like, how to just be aware of your surroundings. And
so bad. Once you score one, it's just bad.
Right, come on. To finish off, mate, we're going to do the predictions. But I do want to quickly ask you, do United think that... do you think United beat Burnley on Saturday?
Yes. Only just, though.
You think it's going to be close, do you? You don't think there's a reaction from them?
From United?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Burnley, just think they'll find it tough. And because they're struggling, they're struggling.
Yeah.
And I've been there before with a good team. When was it? It was a good team when Ronaldo was there and we got beat from 2-1. So they beat us with a good team. So, like I say, I go in there now and don't know what to think. So
I think the best thing that they can have for United, mate, is to get some players back and actually refresh the starting lineup. Because those 3 games, they've conceded 14 goals in 5 games, United have. And they've obviously lost 3 on the bounce. But in those 3 games on the bounce, the starting 11 has pretty much been the same, bar maybe 1 or 2 players, like in each game. Like, I think they almost need to drop a couple of them, but they haven't got the players to do it at the moment. But I think Varane is back Saturday, Amrabat is in, Mount is in. Like, those 3 straight away make the starting lineup better, refresh it up a bit. You know, you can drop Eriksen, you can drop maybe who played on the right, Pellistri. I didn't think did much last night.
Depends who's got it's another 4-3. What? It's more or less going to be the same players unless someone else is fit. Amrabat, Mount, looks like Shaw's out for a bit. Wan-Bissaka's out for a bit. What's happening with Varane? Maguire's suddenly injured after playing for England.
Of course he is. So
we need to get McTominay. Just get rid of him. He's winding me up. That every time I think of that video, just what 2
Does it make you angry?
Just winding me up.
You are there, mate. Tell me this, right? On Monday on TalkSport, And in his article this week, Graham Souness said or described the abuse that Harry Maguire get is inhumane and disgusting. And then on a podcast called Paul Pogba a lazy twat. Come on. Now, surely I'm not the only one who sees the fucking hypocrisy in Souness calling people out about Maguire when he has had this one-man thing about Pogba for about 5-10 years.
He's always had that, you know. He's obviously he's always had something against Pogba.
Yeah.
You get these people, everyone's a hypocrite, mate. Everyone is. Everyone. So, but he's just a bigger hypocrite than most.
He's a fucking massive prick.
Yeah, people that aren't that hypocrite.
Yeah, I know. Also, very quickly, I just wanted to sort of send our condolences. Sheffield United midfielder Maddie Cusack has died at the age of 27. Obviously, very, very sad at such a young age. And yeah, like thoughts and everything to the club, to the families, to the friends, teammates, everything from us at the show and the channel. It's very sad to see that. But I don't know any details about it. I've just sort of saw that she passed away. But 27 is no age, mate, is it?
No.
Right then, mate. Let's finish up so we can let you have some dinner. First prediction of the week: Manchester City are home to Nottingham Forest. Is there any way Forest can get a point? They've been good this year, Forest, mind?
Yeah, they have been good. But to answer your question,
not enough,
no.
3-1 to Man City for me. Alanga will get one, though, for Forest. Where are you going?
2-0.
Palace at home to Fulham. Palace been very good at home, but not so good away. I'm going 2-1 Palace.
1-0 home win.
And then we got Brentford. Brentford at home to Everton.
3-1 home win.
Go on to Brentford. Yeah, I go 2-0 Brentford there. Burnley at home to Manchester United. Come on then, mate.
3-1.
What we got?
3-1
to Burnley.
3-1 away win. Numpty.
I'm going 3-0 United. I just think that they'll have. If it's dependent on.
You copied my score. How does that work?
You said 3-1. You 3.
What did you say? 2-1.
3-0. I said. I nearly said something very inappropriate then.
Yeah. Did you give me a C?
Did
you give me a C?
What? Yeah.
Did you give me a C?
Couldn't comment. Arsenal versus Spurs, mate. North London derby. Ooh. That's going to be tough. Spurs have impressed me.
I'm going to go Spurs 2-1.
Yeah, I think I fancy Spurs, mate, because their form. No, I'm not going to score. Their form is identical. Arsenal obviously have been in the Champions League this week. It wasn't very difficult, but they had a midweek game. I'm going to go 1-0. No, not 1-0. Both teams will score. I'm going to go 3-2 Spurs. Sheffield United at home to Newcastle. Surely Newcastle will put that to bed, but they've won. Newcastle have lost 3 of the last 5 games.
Yeah, 1-0 Newcastle.
Sheffield United as well.
1-0 Newcastle.
Sheffield United good at home. I'm going to go 1-1 in that one. And that's the predictions for the week. We are, however, going to do a Cardiff City versus Sunderland prediction, mate. I am going to go with 2-1 to Cardiff City.
Say you're going to go to what?
2-1 Cardiff against Sunderland. What you got? It's on Sunday. Cardiff City versus Sunderland.
At home.
It's at Sunderland, so it's going to be tough.
2-1 Sunderland.
2-1 Sunderland. I've gone 2-1 City. Sunderland in good form. City in good form. Should be a good game, that one. Right then, mate. As always, it's a pleasure. I apologise I haven't gone to the comments as much as normal, but to the people, thank you for all the comments. My screen has been freezing, so it's been difficult for me to follow. But we'll be back to the normal time next week. Saturday night, I'm doing a live preview of the Sunderland game, so make sure you join me for that. New episode of My Story with stand-up comedian Leroy Brito is out on Saturday as well. Sugar and Silk boxing shows on Sunday. Cardiff City show next week. Members only show Monday. Loads of stuff. Just get involved. Spread the word. All that good stuff. Make sure you follow Rhodri on Twitter and send him the video of Scott McTominay jogging back after he loses the ball. No, it's been a pleasure, mate. I had a good time today. It turned into a bit of a United one.
I think it's better. Oh, it's 55 minutes. This gets too long. Not 40. That's good, though. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sweet. I'm starving, so sweet.
Go get your food, my friend. I'll speak to you soon.
In a bit, motherfucker.